My name's Victoria Strauss. I just got all the ingredients to make some homemade rolls. Let's go inside and get started. Come on. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make delicious homemade rolls the way my grandma taught me. And we're going to be looking at preparing for a family meal or larger events. We're also going to be looking at some tips throughout the demonstration of achieving the most delicious results. And we're also going to be looking at how to prepare your dough like a pro. As American novelist Louis Bromfield is quoted as saying, "Bread is the king of the table, and all else is merely the court that surrounds the king. The countries are the soup, the meat, the vegetables, the salad, but bread is king." So with that in mind, let's make some homemade rolls that are sure to be the center of attention at your table, or as Bromfield said, the king of the table. One of the first things you need to keep in mind is, well, how many do you need? That's the first thing I start with, and I decide what kind of shape do I want? What size do I want? We're going to go ahead and prepare dough like a pro. So we're going to use the KitchenAid recipe that actually came with my stand mixer. One of the first things I'm going to do is to put in the minimum amount of flour that it calls for, which is 3.5 cups to start with. And this is just all-purpose white flour. 3 tablespoons of sugar, and you need sugar because this is what the yeast likes to eat. Definitely keeps them happy. A teaspoon of salt, and then we have our liquids here that we're going to be adding. I'm just going to go ahead and attach that. This is 2 packets of Fleshman's Rapid Rise yeast, and I'm going to use the dough attachment that comes with the stand mixer. And I'm just going to go ahead and let this just kind of combine a little bit. And then once that's combined, we're going to be adding our liquid. When you're working with yeast, is you don't want your liquids to be too cold because it won't activate the yeast. And you don't want it to be too hot or it will actually kill the yeast. So the ultimate temperature you're aiming for here is between 120 and 130 degrees. I love my little Pampered Chef thermometer, but there's lots of thermometers out there that you can use. So as I add this, I'm going to do it slowly, and I'm going to be going for about 30 seconds. Need for about 4 minutes total, and then we're going to go ahead and come back. So another tip when you're preparing the dough and it's kneading is I use the minimum amount of flour possible. So it says here to use 4 to 5 cups total, but you know what? That's too much, and you'll end up getting dense, hard rolls. So I do the minimum. So I already have 3.5 cups flour in here, my liquids and all the other ingredients, and now I'm going to add an additional half cup. And I'm going to let this continue kneading. So the next step, what we're going to do is, I like to first pry it off of this dough hook using kind of a rigid spatula. And we're going to put it in a bowl that I greased with just Crisco. Lift it and turn it over and just kind of feel and make sure I've got grease covering the whole thing. So anyways, we're going to go and let this yeast in the dough rise for about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back again and I'll show you how to tie it into a beautiful bow knot. Well, our dough has risen for 15 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and uncover it, save this towel, we're going to knead it. And one of the nice things about using less flour, this is about how much I'll pull off here, but see how it makes a nice soft dough? I mean, it's just really pliable. And I'm going to make this into a nice strip. And if you're adjusting a recipe that you have at home that you like to use, just try reducing it by a half cup and test it and see how it is. And you can adjust it each time you do it. So what I do is I'm just basically, wrapping it over, bringing it under like that, and then just gently tucking it under. And I'm just going to take it between my hands, making like a little rope and a quick little knot. Just a simple knot like that, and tuck the ends under. I remember being a little girl thinking I was so lucky that my grandma trusted me to do this, because we had all of the family was coming over for Christmas dinner when she taught me how to do this. And I was the only little kid that was allowed in the kitchen, so I was pretty proud of myself at the time. You can actually put these in just balls into a cupcake tin and make round doughs. You can put balls into a round container and let them rise as is, and they're pull-apart doughs or pull-apart rolls. And we're going to cover it up. And then it's been 15 minutes. We can uncover it And look at those. If I didn't mention before, this baking sheet is actually ungreased. You don't have to put anything down. It's going to be fine. I've got the oven preheated to the 425 degrees, and I'm just going to go ahead and slide it in. And it's going to bake for about 10 to 12 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and set a timer for 10 minutes, just because one of those tips again is we want to make sure not to over bake it. We want it to just be a nice light golden brown. Look at these beautiful results of our homemade rolls. I hope that after watching this, you would feel confident to be able to prepare rolls for your family meals or larger events. Use all those tips we talked about for achieving the delicious results and be able to prepare dough like a pro, just like my grandmother taught me. So when your family smells these baking, you won't be able to keep them away. Now that you're ready to try it yourself, I hope that you remember how easy it is that you can make homemade rolls that will be the king of your table. Maybe I should have made a double batch. Thanks for visiting my kitchen. Bye.